I've had some crazy commission requests where I've even turned them down. Like this billionaire in Texas was like, I shot a lion. Could you graffiti on my lion?
What?
And I was like,
Wait, what?
like, dude.
Wait, before, well, how much?
He's writing I'm something.
You guys are stupid. I love McDonald's. Oh, he's writing impulsive. Notice a problem.
Floor of my room.
Actually.
Oh, he forgot the V. He forgot the V.
Oh, should we tell? You like impulsive?
Am I spelling it right?
Yeah.
Ah, you missed the V.
Impulsive.
I knew I was spelling it right.
Hey guys, welcome back to Impulsive, the #1 podcast in the world. Thank you guys for listening, watching, viewing, and subscribing. Got a special guest today, ladies and gentlemen. To my right is Alec Monopoly.
Wow, let's go.
He's here in the studio. You saw the pre-roll, you saw the intro. Not 30 minutes ago, he was painting, or I mean, yeah, you were what would you call that art? Graffitiing? Painting?
I would say painting.
Painting. You're painting an Impulsive logo, ex Alec Monopoly. You're my neighbor, good friend. So happy to have you on Impulsive, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Do you mind if your dog eats your bird again? Because he's dead set on it. I'm sorry, Maverick. I couldn't have stopped it the first time.
That sucks. Well, bro, good to have you on, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. This is your first podcast ever.
Yes,
Ever.
first podcast.
Why is that? I'm actually curious.
It just never felt right.
Really?
I've had a lot of DMs from big people with podcasts. So we'll fly you here or there. But being your friend, I just felt like it wouldn't be right doing a podcast with someone else. I don't know. It's like cheating.
You
or
would.
something.
It is cheating. It is cheating. And no, bro, I appreciate that. And I remember before I became your friend, hearing about you, and you've always been a little enigmatic. You know, like I think it's good that people don't fully get to dive into your brain. And you kind of keep them on their toes. It's something about like access to people.
Yeah,
And it works really well for artists.
One of the 48 laws of power is actually scarcity and making it and keeping yourself scarce. So like not being around, like showing up only when needed, and it creates an illusion of inaccessibility. And I think that was something that you did a really good job of in your first coming up years. And I think it was a part of it was blocking the face and no one knew who you were. What's the background between trying to keep that anonymity?
Well, it's kind of like
Where did that come
anonymity.
Anonymity.
No,
Being anonymous.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a part of graffiti. Like there's so many graffiti artists that are still anonymous. Say Banksy. I don't know. There's a lot of guys, and it's basically to give you the freedom to paint on whatever you want. Illegal spots, these spots. So for many years I was anonymous because I was doing a lot of illegal graffiti.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets that it's illegal. You know, like when you're doing it outside, you actually sometimes break the law to get these murals up. And you have murals everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
Now that I'm your friend, I like pay attention to it more, and I see the areas you've traveled to paint these massive murals. I was with you in New York one time. You invited me 3 a.m. Does it always have to be at night? If that one was a legal one, correct?
It was a gray area on the law, but we were okay.
So do you always have to go at night? Like, were you sneaking in, breaking doors down, hopping fences and shit?
Confession?
David, she's here.
It's like we're wired. Come on, speak to us. How'd you get in and out?
Ingrid, I'm gonna have someone come out and grab you right now.
Sure, perfect.
All right, thank you.
Like I told you, Alec, our podcasts are pretty light, pretty relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, it all kind of started for me in New York, and I was like going crazy with graffiti in New York. I have, a very addictive personality. I love the rush of it, so I was just tagging everywhere in New York, and I kind of really overdid it. And the New York Police Department was like really out for me. They had, I think even the mayor found out about it. It was like Bloomberg at the time. And they sent out a task force to like get me basically. And this was in the beginning of my art career. Like I had just locked in this big collector. I'd never sold any artwork before. So he was like, we're going to fly you out to New York and I want to buy 30 pieces. So as I'm creating the works in the space in Chelsea, I'm graffitiing everywhere. And this is a space that's in the arts district of Chelsea. I papered up the windows so you couldn't see in. So I was doing graffiti everywhere. I was tagging, and I'm not even gonna say the places. And then the genius idea was that the paper on the wall, I should graffiti on that and turn it around. So like, it's a piece in the studio, which immediately, like a couple hours later, like 4 cops showed up to the studio and they were like, I could tell they were undercovers because they had like the hidden gun. They're like, is Alec Monopoly here? Like, is the artist here? And I was like cleaning up. Randomly, I had a broom, and I was just like, no, I don't know. I just work here. I'm just cleaning. I'm just
You're
cleaning.
fucking Batman.
I'm just cleaning. And then they're like, okay, we'll be back. So after that, I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Wow.
So I bounced, and I didn't even go to my first art show. It was my first gallery show, and I didn't even go because the police were there waiting, and then they came into the show.
Oh my God, to buy art.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're fans.
So the police came into the show, and then it was like world news. It was featured in all the newspapers, and that's kind of where my career took off. Is because the NYPD came into my art show and was trying to arrest me.
Dude, shout out NYPD.
Yeah, thank you guys.
That's impressive.
You're a fugitive. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You were running from you're a real criminal.
Yeah, they finally got up to me. I mean, you never get away from these guys.
No, that's true. That's true. Don't break the law, kids.
Yeah.
I feel like you had to say that, like you're president. Okay, listen, when you're on the podcast, just admit that they'll get to you.
Yeah, exactly. They got me, so it's okay.
No, but you also, I mean, you got them. They spawned a career, and it's funny how some careers can like start out of controversy. I bet then, was it scary, or did you realize that was about to be the beginning?
Oh my God, it was like one of the scariest moments of my life. I mean, at one point when they showed up, like, because they came and then left. And then I was sneaking into the studio to try to finish the works for the art show.
Oh my God.
So they were monitoring the show. So there was like an undercover guy who was out front. And I met this girl randomly because I guess like the paper was only so high. But if you lived above across the street, you could see down into the paper. And I thought no one could see. So I'd be in my boxers, like with my girlfriend. I was like, all types of weird shit was happening in there. And then finally this girl comes up to me. She was like, I live across the street and I can see down into your studio. And she was like, by the way, like, if you need it, like, I see what the cops are doing. Like, I can be your lookout and call.
Oh my God.
When they come
for one painting.
Because they were there was like an undercover cop always outside, but they would go and leave. So she would let me know when, and then she was like, by the way, my dad is like the governor of Vermont. I'm like, what?
You're like, thanks so much. Next time I go skiing at Killington, I'll give them like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that?
Hello, Vermont. Are you there?
Hey, that's wild.
So she would call me when the undercover cop would be gone. So like when I'd have like an hour window, I'd sneak in and like sign the pieces and try to finish them up. So one day I went in there to go finish them, and like 5 cop cars surrounded the place, and they were like coming to get me because I guess they knew I was there or whatever. Yeah. So I literally, there was a garbage chute that I could climb through, that I climbed through to go out the back, and then I bounced that way.
Oh my God. This is serious. Dude, when you're sliding down a garbage chute, I think that's definitely a moment where you're like, took a wrong turn.
That happened in the last Rock movie.
No, well, I'm not going to say where I painted, but I painted on a very special place that was a very special thing.
Statue of Liberty?
The
Washington Monument.
To the mayor of New York at that time. So I pissed off the big boss. So he was like, let's get this motherfucker.
Let's get this guy.
Can you give a little bit of context for people out there watching that aren't familiar with your portfolio of work? Like, who are some of the higher profile people that you've sold pieces to, and what's the price range for one of your commission pieces look like?
Well, I mean, so many people have my work, but the first big celebrity to buy my work was Seth Rogen. And at that moment, I had a website connected to PayPal. Like, you could just buy, like, I was just doing graffiti. I was selling prints of my work, not even canvas, for like $200. And I saw, like, in the PayPal, like, I'm not going to say his email, but like Seth Aaron. I was like, wait, is this the Seth Rogen? Yeah. He was like, yes, it is the. I'm like, come over and, pick up the piece. And it was so funny because at the time I was living with this photographer, my mentor, Michel Comte. And he had like the biggest mansion in Beverly Hills. And I was just like Kato Kaelin, like living in the back and making the painting. So he came to pick up the piece. And I'll never forget, like, Seth Rogen coming, he's like, wow, like I should become a graffiti artist.
Oh, so it was actual Arnold. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm like, dude, this guy laughs just like in the movies.
That's great.
And then I took him to the basement and we were there smoking weed. And then like the owner of the house, my mentor, like hated weed and shit. But I was like with Seth Rogen, he was just like, stop smoking down there. And like,
Oh,
Seth's
he
like,
didn't care?
No, the owner of the house hated
sorry, he
weed.
did care.
But I was like, I'm with Seth. Like I can't say no.
Right,
Like, let's
obviously.
spark it up.
You see his rolling tray that he
It
invented?
looks amazing. Yeah, no, he's killing it with the ceramics.
Is that a product? Do we know if he's selling that?
Yeah, he does. I
he
think he
does.
sells them like one of a kind. Like you can buy. They're not like mass produced. That dude smokes like a chimney. Like that
He
dude
smokes a
he
lot.
smokes some. I asked him a few months ago on like a thing that we did together. I was like, when was the last time you weren't high? And his answer was like, I think it was like, David, what did he say? It was like a decade or something like that. Oh, when he was in Singapore. And if you get caught with weed there, they kill you. So he's like, I couldn't smoke, but he's like, I can't remember any other time besides that I wasn't high in the past like 20 years.
Wow.
I always forget that other countries like look at marijuana like
Yes,
a really
yeah.
bad drug.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, all right. So don't be too humble. Who else? Who else owns your shit?
And
dude?
then the next big guy was Nobu, the owner of all the restaurants, came over. And this was all happening in this mansion house I was living in the basement of.
What year is this, by the way?
This was
13,
like
12,
2008,
Oh, okay, so it's
2009.
further back.
And then he brought my work to Robert De Niro. And then De Niro
Damn.
put my piece in his office in Tribeca, which was like all the biggest bosses of bosses. If you're in De Niro's office and you see Alec Monopoly portrait of him from Taxi Driver with the mohawk.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Was he like this? I love it.
no, it's the one where he just like shoots.
With the he's got the mohawk,
And he's got the blood all over his face. So it was
Crazy
that portrait.
movie.
Sick.
So after that, it was just like after I got De Niro, like obviously a bunch of other celebrities collected my work, but after De Niro, what do you give a shit? Like,
What
This,
is
the second part of that question
Yeah.
was how much is a
Value.
commission piece going for these days?
around like 75K to like 150 for like the right size.
Gotcha.
Depends what you want. Like I've had some crazy commission requests where I've even turned them down. Like this billionaire in Texas was like, I shot a lion. Could you graffiti on my lion?
What?
And I was like,
Wait, what?
like, dude,
Wait, before, well, how much?
I don't know if there's a price for and the hair. I don't know if it
would work?
He's like,
not down with it.
logistically,
I'm not down with
I
it.
don't understand. He wanted you to tag his taxidermied lion, and so you won't do that.
No.
What else?
that's where
What
I
else
drew the
won't
line.
you do or tag?
I think that's about. I mean, the lion was where I drew the
Big
line.
game.
Yeah.
It's never too early to start gift shopping for the holidays, especially because today you can save big on a gift they'll use every day. Raycon wireless earbuds with seamless Bluetooth pairing and a comfortable noise isolating fit. You can start listening right away and keep listening for hours. The audio quality is amazing, comparable to what you get from other premium brands, except Raycon starts at half the price. The new everyday earbuds come with 3 new sound profiles to make sure everything you're listening to sounds the best with just the right amount of bass. Raycon offers 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life, and there's also a built-in mic, and you can take calls on your earbuds at the press of a button. So this holiday season, get them something they can use for calls or music, for work or play, at home or on the go. Go to buyraycon.com/Logan today to unlock exclusive deals up to 20% off Raycon order. But hurry, this offer is available for a limited time only, and you don't want to miss it. That's buyraycon.com/Logan to unlock 20% off your Raycons. Back to the program.
It also seems like anything that won't like support a positive outcome. When before the episode started, we asked you to use a piece of wood as opposed to the wall, and you said it was too porous.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have come out right. So like, even if the price is right, it seems like your work is so valuable to you that you won't do it unless it's going to produce the right outcome. Is that the case?
Exactly. I mean, I just have to feel comfortable with the situation, and I don't want to close any doors or hurt anybody.
It is interesting watching you create and watching you make decisions as a true artist through and through. You're the only like artist painter friend of mine, and so it's cool to watch you like not paint a piece because I've seen you turn things down because people will have you paint something or sign something and then go and sell it and flip it for thousands of dollars. Even that Impulsive sign out there, like if he painted that, someone could come in here.
Oh, we could sell it for sure.
We could sell it, bro.
100%.
Like I'm probably gonna take the wall that you painted.
Well, you should definitely take the cardboard garbage that I was doing the rough sketches and
that's
showing
cool.
you. That's a nice piece.
Oh,
right
that's
there.
cool. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to make a couple thousand off you.
It's in the garbage.
Yesterday when he was working, I saw you working on this piece. I'm not going to mention because it's between you and your work, but every time you added something to it, in my head, I go, no, stop here, it's perfect. And then you would add one more thing, and I'd be like, oh, that needed that. I didn't know that needed that. I'll go, okay, enough, done. And then you add one more, I was like, son of a bitch. He knows what he's doing here.
He knows what the guy's good. The guy's good. You taught me how to paint too. You like teaching, or you tried to?
No, not at all. I don't like teaching. But you're a very special person.
Oh,
so,
thank you. Thank you.
Well, you are a very good teacher because I walked into your house at 3 a.m. last night with no idea how to be a DJ, and you quite literally taught me how to use Pioneer turntables last night, and it changed my life.
You didn't fuck up once.
You were actually pretty good.
He was great.
He was
I'm not
really
even
good.
gonna
Talk shit,
No,
dude. You
honestly,
were doing really good.
I forgot that he wasn't a DJ. I was like, the music is just on, and
It was really good, and I got to make fun of both of you, because I fucking came back to LA and I was like, Alex, teach me how to DJ, guys. I might be a DJ for a little bit, and both you fucking laughed at me.
Well, because
now he has the bug.
I'm so sorry to say this. No, I've heard you DJ, and let me tell you something. I'd rather you go into BJ because that shit fucking sucked. You were like, whoa. But that was the first time I've ever heard him. You might be good now, but I left the house because I was like, I can't hear the same song over and over. I left, took a shower, took a shit, shaved, came back. I was like, change the fucking tune, bro.
Well,
change it.
Logan likes going to space in Miami. You know, he likes that kind of tunes. But the reason I laughed originally is because, you know, you have multiple other avenues that are so beneficial, boxing and all of these different things. And like, I'm always looking for something that I really enjoy doing. I love music. That's I think the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do. All the songs you had on your thing, I knew. So you just started this DJ thing. When did you start that?
well, I
know it was. You just started
You just
it.
hyped yourself up and then passed the mic. You're like, I'm so fucking good at this shit, man. This is real. All those songs, I fucking knew it. Anyways, about you, bro. When'd you start this?
That's generally what you're supposed to do. I'm trying to get off of myself and back to the guest.
He's like, damn, I'm lit. You just started this. When did you start?
When did you start?
Because I'm just good within a few hours, bro. How long have you been fucking doing this? You're performing at Live.
yes, on
Are
Saturday.
you excited about that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I get very nervous. It's and honestly, I like getting nervous. It's like a new feeling. Like, obviously, in the beginning, when I was doing art shows and gallery shows, I would always be nervous about it because I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have something new that I'm
rush.
nervous about, that I'm like excited.
Oh, that is cool.
And then after you have like this gratitude, like after you kill it and everyone's like, oh, best set.
Yeah.
Like you have this rush of gratitude as well. So I'm nervous, but I know after it's gonna.
Have you
well,
opened
I
up
hope.
to the world on how you do your set? Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of honestly, I have so many different playlists from different places I played.
I was talking about how you graffiti while you're doing your set.
Oh, that, yeah. I mean, it's real hard work, bro.
That's
honestly.
because
He told me.
it has to be.
thinking about it.
He
It's
said
really
after an,
hard work.
hour,
Did you
an
explain
hour
a
he's
little bit about
he's
that?
exhausted.
Yeah, like basically, my plan of this when I do it is I do a drawing like beforehand, so I kind of know, because you don't have time to think of what am I going to paint. So you have a plan of the canvas. And then, so I put on the first track, you know, obviously a banger because everyone's excited. And then I start like spray painting on it. And I do all the spray paint in the beginning.
That one.
It's some love tonight.
It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code.
And, you know, as I go, like I don't drink before I start painting.
You're the first DJ to ever do that.
And then once the painting is going, then I start doing some shots, and then I start getting in the zone. And then,
And I love how much you're so into your art that you're like, I got to do this sober.
yeah. No, there's no way to be drunk and making a painting and mixing at the same time.
Yeah, that's
You
great.
hear that, Logan?
Huh?
Can't be drunk.
I'm not interested anymore.
Towards the end of your set, you can honestly, I've DJ'd where I'm like, I don't know, like if I could ever drive a car or vehicle, but I don't know how I'm driving this technology. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It is a lot. The reason I was so bad that particular night was because
Oh,
of
you're fucked up.
because I was inebriated.
Yeah,
and so and that was actually, Alec, the first time I learned, I was like, damn. I kind of would rather be the one enjoying the music,
Yeah.
not the one curating it.
Oh, so you don't want to be a DJ?
It's not that. It's just like I noticed I'd be DJing and everyone else is having fun, and I'm like, damn, that looks like
No,
they're
but
having fun.
that's one of those things. Like, there's certain people in the world that just get off on curating an experience for people at a party. Like, bro, like, you know those dudes when you go on their boat and they're like, you know, the sandwiches are over there. This song's playing. Like, if you want to use the jet ski, it's out back. Like, there are people that literally just get off on showing people the best possible time.
Your parents are totally like that.
Here, have this.
Yeah.
What, Lebna? You're like, I don't even know what that is. Oh, I love it.
We figured out what
Take your shoes
Lebna
off.
was, by the way.
Lebna?
Lebna. It's
Lugna.
It's skitter. Skitter. Skitter.
Oh, the yogurt?
It's Icelandic yogurt.
Yeah.
shit.
It's
I don't
tart.
know. I just fucking, I don't know.
I'm-
Every culture adopts something and then they claim it as theirs. Like we just add a little into it. They're like, Lebna. And it's like, all right, I guess it's ours now.
But it is cool to watch you go from artist to DJ. I saw you do that in less than a month. In less than 1 month, it went from like, damn, bro, I've been DJing for a little bit now. And are you gonna lean into it? I mean, what are you gonna be? A DJ artist? Both?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because it's ironic because people are like, so like, are you DJing more and not painting? I'm like, dude, I'm creating a 3x4 foot canvas while I'm DJing. So the productivity is actually going up.
Yeah.
Because I'm, pressured into making this huge piece very quickly within a 2-hour window of a DJ set. And I'm very blessed that I have an exclusive agreement with my gallery where the painting's already sold, which...
Wait.
It's already gone.
Talk about this deal with your gallery. How does this work?
So basically, I did a 5-year exclusive agreement. Basically, the art world is it's politics and it's a fucking headache because before this, I was hustling. Come to dinner with my rich friend. He might buy a piece or meet this guy. And you're doing all this bullshit work of meeting people when you should be thinking about creating. So now the gallery basically controls the market. So there's only one funnel of where the paintings are coming from. So there's not two galleries. There's not a gallery, different brand gallery in London, a different brand in New York that are fighting to get the sale. So they're lowering the price.
It's your exclusive broker.
So if you have one guy, he has the set price. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
No one's fighting each other. There's no competition.
Cool.
So we control the market. So
It's in Colorado, yeah.
no, they're everywhere. They're in New York, Aspen, London, Paris.
But Aspen does
very
they're
well.
the big buyer, right? Or the big,
No, New York and Dubai. I'd say Dubai we do the best.
Wow.
What about Chicago? Does Chicago buy it or no?
I think we don't have a gallery there, but I'm sure people from Chicago buy. But
It's interesting. Yeah, they're watching how scarce your pieces are, and I guess regulating the market. Which is that easier on your part? Like you don't have to worry about where your paintings are going and being, too exposed.
yeah, I mean, financially it's amazing, and the deal is great. But at the same time, it's kind of fun putting on shows and like seeing them sell. Like, oh, this one sold, that one. They're already now with this contract. They're already all sold. The second I make the painting, it's already sold. So I don't know if it's sold right away or I don't know. I just make it and it's already sold. So it's kind of a dream come true. I'm not complaining about. Like every piece I make is already sold. But I'm blessed. So I'm very grateful for that.
When we were hanging out this morning, I really, really do. And I was talking to Logan about this morning. You're a very grateful human being, and I'm so happy that you're blessed. And I'm also really happy that you're where you're at right now. Because literally, bro, you're painting money. You're painting money.
That is hilarious.
You are painting money. People are like, you can't print money, but you fucking can paint it.
You can't print money,
I know
but
a
you
guy
can
who
paint
does. And just seeing the way you talk about life and everything, dude, I'm really proud of you, and I'm actually very excited.
Bro, you should suck his dick.
Well, hold on. You guys DJ, I DJ. So
No. You're right. This kid brought the whole fucking squad coffee before
Yeah, he did.
before
No, he's
our
a legend,
podcast
bro.
that he's the guest on. The guest
that we
brought
were
us
late
coffee
to.
that we were
And
late.
he was
to.
already here sitting down. Hey, you guys coming? Do you guys want coffee? I can get out of here and get you guys coffee.
No, bro, it is a humbling experience being your friend. And then obviously you came down to Puerto Rico to create. Did you find that the noise everywhere else was distracting as an artist?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. If you look at my work before I moved to Puerto Rico and after, it's like night and day.
Really?
I swear, it's so different. Like before, I was just like, all right, like I got to finish this piece. I'm going to lunch at, down in Beverly Hills, with or there's just a party, whatever. Here, I'm like, there's no one. Like, okay, like you'll
nothing.
stop by and say hi, but I'm still working.
Yeah.
And you have that time to look at the piece over and over again because there's nothing else to do but work on yourself, work on your career, work on your art. So
Yep.
I think I've become a better person, better artist, definitely better boyfriend.
That's sick.
Definitely. Because I've been isolated. I've found myself being a better boyfriend, you know?
He's like,
just have to remove
he's
myself
like, there's
from women.
no other girls to talk to, literally. So I can't fuck it up. And if your dick won't make up its mind, we've got Blue Chew for you today. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Say it with us.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew is making waves and bringing more confidence to the bedroom by offering chewable tablets that can help men get stronger and longer lasting erections.
That's right. About pop a couple right now.
Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's tablets help men achieve harder, stronger erections to combat all forms of ED. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so that means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Here's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Logan at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BLUECHEW.com. Promo code Logan to receive your first month free. We thank Blue Chew, and we're back to the podcast. Can we go back a little bit and talk about the culture that's involved in your pieces? You did that piece with Niro, the taxi driver piece.
Yeah.
You do these Nicholson pieces, and I also see a lot of like Fear and Loathing in your stuff. Were you raised in a way that you ingested a lot of movies, a lot of music? Because you seem to bring a lot of that culture from your life into your work.
Yeah, totally. I mean, for me, I started out creating work. Like my body of work that you guys know today is just from relating it to graffiti and street art. So I wasn't making canvas to sell. I was making graffiti and paintings for people in the neighborhood, people walking by to connect with. And like iconic images that people would enjoy looking at and that I enjoy looking at. You know, I'm painting Goodfellas because it's one of my favorite movies, or De Niro, or you know what I'm. So it's kind of based on my graffiti and connecting with people.
Sick.
So, but I enjoy anti-heroes, like,
Taxi Driver,
yeah, exactly.
for sure.
So I like kind of Jack Nicholson vibe, and the Joker, the new Joker I did a piece of.
Did you always want to be a superstar artist? Because from what you just said, painting graffiti on walls and then to where you are now, was that ever on the horizon? Or
yeah, I mean, I can say this now because it actually came true, but like every birthday since I can remember as a kid, when I blow out the candles, I would say I want to be a famous artist in museums.
No way.
Oh, shit.
So like every year I would be like, this is my wish. This is
Sick.
my wish. I didn't tell anyone that. And then when I had my first museum show, and then I guess I was kind of known by people, I was just like, all right.
Now what do you wish
Change your
for?
wish, yeah.
Don't
I'm
tell
not going to say it.
Do you miss anything about being because that underground like art scene, like the graffiti by night, like that's a huge clique of his own. Like there's books and magazines and podcasts dedicated to that art form of being a runner on the New York streets or LA streets. Do you miss anything about being unrecognized and being on the come up and trying to bust your ass?
Yeah, I mean, I miss it. So I had so much fun. I remember I had this old 74 Bronco with no doors and back, and I would just fill it with paint cans and like buckets and shit like that. And the thing was trash. And I would just roll around LA destroying the streets. Like it had off-road tires and it didn't have doors. So I'd literally like hop up on the curb and like graffiti out of the door and like spray paint out of the door and then like drive off to the next spot.
sick.
Like, or like use it, like come up on the curb and stand on it to get a high spot, or, just not really giving a shit.
And the LA scene presented new opportunities to you.
I mean, at that point in 2008, 2009, 2010, it was like LA was the epicenter of street art and graffiti and creativity. It was just a special moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was before they call them buffers, where it's like the city where they come and they paint over your stuff. So they didn't really have a buffing squad so much in LA. So your pieces would stay up forever. So it was an amazing time. There's books about it, and
that time period.
that time period was very special.
What's the spot now? Like, what's the most vibrant street art scene right now, would you say, if you had to call it?
Miami for sure, 100%. Wynwood, Miami is
Wynwood,
like the number one spot. It's the epicenter during Art Basel, which is coming up, and I'm lucky enough to be like have most of the walls in Wynwood. Like
Crazy.
we've really taken over.
Admittedly, when I was a kid, I was always a bit afraid to pursue my dreams, my true dreams, because they were risky and they weren't a guaranteed path of success for me. But I knew I could be a good engineer. And I think a lot of kids that have that dream to become something big are kind of deterred or scared off when they're young because society has kind of funneled people to go down a certain path. And this, I was even afraid to drop out of college to pursue a career that had already been working for me even. How scary is it to tell your parents, Mom, Dad, I'm going to go paint on walls illegally at night? Or did they not know you were doing it? Like, how do you have the balls to pursue a career path as unknown and into the dark as that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I kind of knew my career path from the start because in high school we had like one of those contests where you can enter your painting and then the painting can go to an art fair, and the painting won in class, it won the award and then went to the art fair and then sold for $500. So in high school I had $500 cash. Like that's like $1 million nowadays. You know what I mean? Like I was rolling in it. So immediately I knew, I was like, bro, this is $500 cash. Like I'm good. Like I'm going to work on this. But once I got into graffiti and I started getting arrested a lot, my mom, like obviously I'd get grounded and she'd be like, well, you're going to go to jail for life, like crying, like, cause it was really scary. Like, I mean, imagine that moment when I was having an art show and my mom was helping. My mom's an amazing artist. She's the one who taught me how to paint and draw.
Oh, there it is.
She's an amazing artist. She's like one of those like ladies that does those oil paintings that take like a year and it looks like exactly like the field with the cows and like the French countryside type shit.
Those take a year to make?
You know, like not 15 minutes, huge impulsive graffiti, you know? So she taught me how to paint and draw and stuff like that. And then when I started doing graffiti and like the cops were coming and she actually was helping me finish my paintings in that space when the cops were around it. So she knew what was going on. So she was like, dude, you're
She's
fucked.
a ride or die.
She was like, you're fucked. Like, do not, like, stop doing graffiti and all this stuff. Now it's like, it's so ironic that that's what made me the artist that I would never be here if it wasn't graffiti, you know? So
don't listen to your mom ever. Is what you're saying.
So never listen to your parents.
No.
Man, she must be so proud of you.
she is. She's very proud.
And the pops?
You know, my dad's a little out of it. My dad was in the music business, actually, which is ironic. He was the president of Columbia Records.
Oh, shit.
For a number of years. Like, he discovered, like, Peter Tosh and Jamaica, and he was huge in the music business.
So this media art stuff kind of runs in your family.
Do you know the craziest thing is there's a picture of my mom and my dad on their first date at Andy Warhol's house.
No
Holy
way.
shit.
Yeah, and Andy Warhol's there.
Holy shit.
It's the craziest thing.
That's nuts.
That was their first date because my dad was like trying to flex that he knew Warhol.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
That's a flex, man. That's a serious flex.
You collect as well? I'm assuming you have some Warhols.
I have too, yeah. But my dad had one when he divorced his first wife, who was like the richest lady in the world, Johnson & Johnson, billionaire lady. He just like walked away from it because he had no ego. But the next guy who divorced her got like the biggest settlement, like 500 million or something. But more of the story, he went to Andy Warhol's house and he was super sad. And Warhol gave him a print of Mick Jagger and signed it like, I hope you feel better.
Oh, cool.
Da-da-da.
Cool.
But my cousin has it, so we're trying to buy it from my cousin. I don't know how my cousin
How
got
does that?
It's a long story.
Yes,
they're
Dad, but he's
watching
not
this.
vaccinated. It's really weird.
My dad's a little out of it now. He's selling some possession. You know, we got to work it out. with
My dad sold him a truck I got him and then bought a motorcycle. And he didn't tell me he did it. You met Greg. You met Greg
Legend.
on an interesting night as well. That was the night where he told me the stories he never told me as a kid, where I didn't realize how truly chaotic Greg Paul was
This story.
as a youth. Bill Church and Chuck Stoll, brother.
Chuck Stoll. I can't wait to meet these guys. We should bring them on the podcast.
We really should. Bill and Chuck, you're coming on. Bill and Chuck's excellent events. Bill and Ted, never mind.
Why Monopoly? Why the Monopoly?
Great
like,
question.
why all of that? And I, yeah, that's it.
That was good.
Why all that?
I actually have a question to parlay with that one.
Nice one.
See, have you ever got in trouble with them? Have they ever been like, yo, man?
Doesn't. Oh, yeah.
With Monopoly, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Which
then
one do you want me to
that's
answer
our shit.
first?
Go one at a time.
Obviously
Why Alec
Mike's, 'cause
Monopoly?
he's been co-host for a lot longer than me.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to be honest. with this answer because I obviously the story relates to itself that's out there that everyone knows, but there's also a story behind that. So when I was starting out, I was out on my own, whatever. I couldn't afford the art supplies, all this stuff. I was living with this very wealthy girl. She was a young girl, pretty girl. She looked like a tall, skinny model, but she had the trust fund. And she was, helping me, buying my paints and all this stuff. And in 2008, when, the stock market started to crash and Bernie Madoff was stealing money from all these big New York families, she was affected immediately. So her family was affected immediately by Bernie Madoff. Oh, shit. And it went from like, yo, Alex, ballin', like taking all his friends to lunch and all the art supplies you want to like, not at all. So I ironically just did a drawing of Bernie Madoff as Mr. Monopoly. Because it's weird. I was watching the news of Bernie Madoff getting arrested and we were playing Monopoly, the game, because I love the game. Jesus. So I was like, dude, this is so ironic. Like, I should make Bernie Madoff's head on Mr. Monopoly with the money bag running away, representing Wall Street and what was going on. So I did that drawing first. And then I was like, I'm just going to do a Monopoly one. And then I was like, because I had already done graffiti writing, I had never incorporated my artwork and my drawing into my graffiti. So literally, I started that painting. I still have the first one, and I never finished it. Because that night, I was like, yo, fuck it. Let's go out in the streets, and let's go fuck it up with this Monopoly shit. So literally, all I took was one black spray can and just went around LA and did a bunch of Monopolies and signed Alec. So literally like 2 days later, it was featured in a magazine and a newspaper, like commentary. And they named me. I didn't name myself Alec Monopoly. They just named it because I just wrote Alec and then the Monopoly man right there.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Shout out to Madeline. Thank you. I don't know where you're at, but...
She's in the alley just counting pennies. She goes, fuck you, bro.
Damn. And then I asked you this once before too. How are there not any trademark
claims
or copyright infringements?
Honestly, because I was very smart from the beginning. So I kind of took the artist business model of Andy Warhol.
Oh, yeah.
Andy Warhol, his first paintings that made him famous and successful were of the Campbell's soup can.
Yep.
So basically, I kind of took that model in the fact that I'm not making merchandise of it. There was a Supreme Court case on numerous artists. I think there was one involving Mickey Mouse and I forget the other artist's name. But so basically, if you don't make T-shirts, merchandise, if it's an original painting, you can use any trademark.
No
basically.
way. Wow.
So like I could use McDonald's logo and do whatever with it as long as I'm not making T-shirts and whatever. But at the same time, I have a good relationship with them and I don't cross the line. I know it's a children's game. I know I have a lot of fans that are young kids. So, I'm very I'm very responsible how I do it. I don't paint Monopoly
smoking crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
exactly.
hookers.
I have a responsibility.
Yes.
And I feel like they enjoy it because I bring
I'd buy some.
Oh, 100%.
I'd buy some
risque Monopoly art.
He'll never do it.
Have you ever thought about partnering with them for an actual
I was
board game?
just gonna ask.
See, that's I think where it's like the gray area because I still do graffiti. I'm not gonna say I'm
Got it.
usually I have permission, but
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully at some point we'll do it, but
I feel like if they put their stamp on him,
then it's like and at the same time, then every graffiti piece, people are like, is that a paid billboard for the collaboration?
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
I see. There's a whole. Okay, interesting. So if you make it just a one-on-one piece of art,
one of one. I've never made a T-shirt with Monopoly Man. I've never made a print, a multiple. They're all one of a kind pieces.
Now, do you feel? And I never asked you this as a friend, but I'm genuinely curious. Do you feel like you could be pigeonholed potentially because you're Alec Monopoly? Do you think that I don't know? Eventually, you're going to switch a style or evolve into a different form of artistry?
Alec Candyland.
100%. No, for sure. I mean, I have a whole other body of work that I've been preparing and getting ready for for the next stage in my career.
Cool.
You know, so it's funny because some of the pieces that I'm creating today, I thought of like 3 years ago that I never really got it done.
Yep.
So it's like
Yep.
you're already ahead of it. So yeah, I mean, in the future, I want to work more on oil paintings and like stuff where it's like I've been working on that piece for like a year, you know.
Yep.
And that piece is $1 million or whatever.
Damn.
So and I did have one piece that was like that, and that I've been working on for like 6 months, and I've been adding stuff and whatever, and then someone's like, name your price. I'm not even gonna say how much. It was a lot, and then I sold it. But then now I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why did I sell that? I spent so long on it. Like, should have asked more.
How much
but
you sell it for?
I think it was like 200.
What's the most expensive piece you've ever sold?
I think it was 250 for a sculpture. Was.
Oh, sick.
See, I don't want to inflate the price so much. You know, these artists that say, oh, they're at $3 million at auction, then they're fucked because not everyone has $3 million to buy a piece. You know, I just kind of do it with supply and demand. When the art show sells out immediately and there's nothing for sale, obviously you bring up the price.
Yep.
So I kind of do it organically. I'm not trying to, you know, get into a place where I'm not selling any. It's a lot of politics, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite piece that you ever made?
That piece I'm talking about.
Oh, the one that you spent a ton of time on.
Yeah. That
Are
was.
you're sad.
I
You
know.
want that shit back.
I want it back, bro.
Yo, if you're watching this episode of Impulsive Rich Man that bought that painting, could you please consider just
Give it
selling it
back.
back?
Yeah, please.
Give it back. And you've gotten to meet so many cool people. I was taken aback at how worldly you are. You just know so many people and things and have gotten to go on the craziest experiences as an artist. So interesting, bro.
Why don't you suck his dick, man?
Fuck. No, but
Yeah, dude, what's up with that?
it's just
That's so weird that you're like,
that was your
complimenting-
job.
Yeah, right?
No. He's yeah.
I have
present your wiener.
yeah.
Present your wiener.
I
And
was
we'll
thinking
see.
about this when you said you missed the rush of being like, oh, that,
Well,
you know, I'm like, well, were you in the middle? of
Well, I
something?
mean,
Were
it
you
was
cut
kind
off?
of
Does that feel bad when you cut somebody off, Mike?
Well, I just didn't know if he had something. I
I'm so
delivered
sorry.
You're a worldly person. You've traveled. Do you have a favorite location? Do you have a favorite party?
Favorites?
Like,
What is this, Mike? The back of your
Surprise.
school
question.
yearbook,
Who's
Mike?
the most
Shut up.
popular person in your
Mike, put your
graduating
shut up.
class?
Shut up. My question is, if you miss the,
Wait, I was gonna answer him.
you don't have to. Man.
Where are we going with this?
Yeah, answer me. Answer me.
Answer him.
Okay, worldly person.
Yeah,
You
no.
didn't ask a-
No, that's what.
Okay,
Go
the
ahead and
coolest
answer me,
thing
answer me,
was recently I went to the palace to meet the Prince of Monaco.
See, now we're talking.
And that was dope
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I've met the princes of Saudi, this, that. But to go to the Prince of Monaco, to the palace, this is like real royalty. You know, you're coming into the palace. There's like the soldiers out front, and he was actually the coolest guy. Like because I made a painting of Grace Kelly, his mom. You know, she was the famous Hollywood actress
Yeah.
that became a princess, and so I did a paint, and it was actually a painting I did live in Monaco while I was DJing.
Cool. Very cool.
In the palace. So it was nice to meet the big boss. So we go to Monaco.
Yeah.
Was that on that same trip that we were talking about last night? The one with the boat that got canceled?
No.
It's right there.
This was
What
recent.
did the boat do to get canceled?
There's COVID restrictions. Okay, and you have to
We'll
abide
stick
by
with
them.
that. We'll stick with that. Too many people on the boat.
Say you're going down this road of being a DJ artist, which I find it very cool. But you were saying that you miss the fact of being like new and getting in your car and doing all these things. Have you ever like wanted to make a different name and cover up the identity of it and just do different art around the street and just not label it under you?
Yeah, I've thought of this, but then it's just like so much extra work. It takes so many years to build. Well, actually, it was very quickly for me.
So it was about 22 days.
Let me honest with you. I was playing Monopoly.
Actually, my DJ career, my graffiti career blew up pretty quickly.
Dude.
But I've actually thought of it, but at the same time, it's like I have so much energy.
No, I was just saying to get rid of your risky ideas, to have that thrill back, to
Yeah.
do shit that you can't do with your art that you're doing now.
That's a good idea.
Like
Thank you.
Prids, dude, to bring it back to
I
the
only want
DJ.
10%,
Thank you.
man.
Alec, to bring it back to the DJ, like Prids has Prida and like what he has, like 3 different monikers or like
I mean,
surnames.
Diplo has Major Laser and all that shit.
Well, that's a group.
What's him?
He's in the group.
Yeah.
It's like NSYNC, but with DJs.
First of
Yeah,
all, nothing's like NSYNC. You do that again, that's blasphemous.
You look like you're in NSYNC.
I
Right now.
wish I look like I'm like Lance that just gained a few pounds. I'm fat now.
Here he goes again with fat shaming.
Stop fat shaming yourself.
You guys called me a rhombus. I had to Google that shit.
Your head is
We
just
called
a
him
perfect building block.
Roblox.
You're Roblox.
I'm fasting now. Yeah.
You're fasting.
Yeah,
Nice
thank
work.
you,
Nice
thank
work.
You're terrified of this new you.
I'm not. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it.
Bro, you gained like 3 pounds. Look at
I
Quinn.
gained 13.
Look at Quinn.
But no,
He's
listen.
a
The
concrete
reason I don't
block.
like it is because it just snuck up on me. It all hid here, man. I didn't know.
You got the turkey neck going?
I do.
What?
Alec, I'm impressed actually with your commitment to fitness. You always finding a way to go to the gym. Heck, even today.
We worked out. Me and Alec worked out.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah, we
worked
hit the
out.
gym.
Dude, but also we were up to like 5 a.m. just drinking and listening to Mike DJ. Like I was cooked today, dude.
Yeah.
And I had to drive to San Juan to get my passport. But your commitment to health is actually is remarkable.
That's why it's nice having you guys, because like coming to train with you guys when you were getting ready to fight Mayweather, I was there every day
Yeah.
with you guys,
Yeah.
and it's fun. I enjoy it.
How is your lifestyle? You'd say in general healthy? Like you drinking, you partying, smoking, not sleeping a lot.
I would say it's healthy when I'm in Puerto Rico. I don't know about the DJ tour life. It's not.
It's so funny,
It's not
dude.
a wholesome atmosphere, I don't think. But
Dude,
Sorry, Mom.
you popped up as much there too as you did in the art world as fast, dude. Like you just started DJing, and I swear to God, I was next to you DJing with Afrojack at PhD the other night. How deep are you into your DJ career? He's a fucking
He's a month and a
stadium.
half.
He's
Yeah.
a
A month and a
stadium
half.
selling DJs and one of the biggest global DJs. Like, and you're literally like, yeah, Afrojack asked me to spin next to him at PhD tonight, and it really happened.
I was actually really nervous to DJ with him, and then it was cool.
crushed it.
We were just going with the flow. He was like, I got to play some of the hits here and there, and like I was playing my techno, deep house
100%.
stuff like that. But
I saw some of his original stuff coming out. It's pretty good.
yeah, I have some original music.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said
so you're
that,
leaning
yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
I know this, that you're taking lessons. Like you're working with someone to
Producers,
teach-
DJ, all of that.
It's why you're great. It's why you're
You have
great.
to work at it.
I
you
know, but everyone misses that step. And it's cool. It's one of the coolest things about being on this island is seeing everyone really doing their own thing and living in their own environment.
Yeah.
And you can so easily here see the ingredients for success. And there's like a through line for all of it. Like the fact that you're going behind the scenes to improve your skill
Yeah.
is it's that secret recipe, secret ingredient everyone forgets about.
Well, for me, I'm not afraid to like call someone and ask them for help or learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I want to learn watercolor. I mean, I know how to watercolor paint, but I want to get better at it.
Yep.
I'm the type of guy who's like okay to call someone who's a pro at watercolors and say, "Could you come over and teach me a little bit?" You know,
Yep.
I don't have an ego with that.
Yeah, you don't
Yep.
wrestle with pride.
Yeah, I have no ego with that. So I'm always learning on. I think that's the most important part about being an artist is growing and developing and learning. You know, by the time you end your career, look at Picasso. His paintings were amazing. I mean, he was a little lazy in the end, but they were amazing.
So I saw a tweet the other day. Someone was like, dude,
Just a little lazy out of the touched up a little bit.
they said, I thought Pablo Picasso was from the 1500s. Didn't that dude die? He died in 1972. Did you know that, Georgie?
1972.
Yes, Pablo Picasso.
Same year I was born. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think that's...
Who are you watching? Any artists?
Not really. I mean,
you have
so
a-
focused on my own work that I'm not really.
But still, I know you collect. Like, you watch Banksy at all or pay attention
Yeah,
to
of course. I mean, he's the godfather of all of this. So he's the one who kind of made street art a real school of art. So it's like now street art is finally accepted. Like when I first started, galleries were like, "Oh, you're a street artist," "Oh, street art." But like now it's accepted as a school of art. So the school of art is the time period. So say Vincent van Gogh was the creator of modern art. And then there was Cubism, Impression,
Yep.
There was pop art, New York School of Art, and then now there's street art.
Yep.
So that's like a whole school of art. And then I guarantee the next thing is going to be digital art.
NFTs.
Let's talk about
Exactly.
it. I had to.
I
had
didn't mean to go there.
Nah, we're here.
But that is the
Thank
school of
God.
art.
Our audience just clicking off the video.
I don't listen. I don't get. My buddy called me and he goes, "Hey man, I have 500 to play with NFTs. What do you got for me? I know you hang out with the boys. They can give you a little insight." And I go, what? He goes, "Yeah, I got 500." I go, 500 what? He goes, 500,000. Let's get it. I'm like, you're spending fucking $500,000 on something you'll never touch.
Well,
you'll never touch it.
Is he interested in the Own One project by any chance? We actually have one that we could we could offload to.
I don't know, man. To me, I like your type of art where I could see it, touch it, and if it's in my house, it's only here. You get what I'm saying? I feel like it gives it it's something rare. You can't just open up your phone and screenshot.
That's what I was gonna ask, Alec. Digital art, your take on it. You're a brushstroke artist, dude.
I'm
Feet
a
on the
digital
ground.
artist too.
You're in the trenches.
I made honestly, I made an NFT in 2019.
What?
Yeah.
Knowing, like, with the intention of it being sold as a piece of digital art?
Yes, it was for Leonardo DiCaprio's foundation, and this guy comes up to me and he's like, "Dude, you got this blockchain or whatever." I'm like, "What the fuck are you even talking about, bro?" I'm like,
Shut up.
like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And he's like, "Everyone's doing it. Like, I've got this celebrity, this guy, that guy." I'm like, "All right, just like give me the iPad and I'll fucking do this thing."
And you did it.
And I did it, yeah. There's
Okay.
pieces around. People, it's like been bought and sold like 5 times.
Oh my God. Okay.
And the Incognito project, yeah.
Yo, shut up. Shut
That
up.
is not an official Alec Monopoly piece, by the way.
That's fucked up, bro. You're being used a lot.
There's a lot
Your
of
name
fake
and likeness is being used a lot. And I thought you were part of that project. And just yesterday you were like, what the fuck is
That's
this?
fake.
Another reason why I don't like NFTs.
No.
Shut up,
That's
Peter Schiff.
No, but
Go
you
buy,
got
go buy some
against
gold
Peter
with your extra money. I saw a hilarious tweet about Peter Schiff. It's from Lolly, the company Lolly. This is
Great company.
he lives above me.
He's a great. We love him.
He does live right above you, right?
The
Yeah.
kids call him a
Well,
boomer.
He owns the unit above me.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like.
Oh, he's all super smart.
Look at Peter Lolly tweeted this. Peter Schiff when gold was $1,800. Peter Schiff when gold is $1,800. It's the same 50 years ago and today. Gold's
It's moved sideways a little bit for the past couple centuries.
they toast him, bro. Look at young Peter Schiff. We love this guy.
That's Peter Stiff.
This is Peter Stiff. And this is Peter Schiff.
Has he been on the podcast?
Yeah,
we
dude,
just
he
had
did
him
great.
on.
We had a great
crushed it.
episode.
He crushed it.
He made a lot of good points. I actually sold all my crypto because of Peter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I would
like,
never.
damn.
I would never.
So
I was like,
influenced.
what?
Wow. He's like, I'm all in.
No. You're diversifying your portfolio. You're a big land guy. You got a nice plot of land here in PR, right?
Yep.
You got to be smart with your money.
Yeah, I mean, Puerto Rico real estate has gone. I mean, as you can
Parabolic.
Lucky you, dude.
see.
Your unit is could potentially sell for what do you think right now?
I mean, I got offered like 10 million for it. I paid 2.8 million. And I wanted to take it, but there's nowhere to move to.
Yeah.
So say you sell it for 10 mil, then you're gonna to rent the same unit I'm in is at least 50 to 60K a month.
Yeah.
So it's like there's nowhere to go.
What about the metaverse? Would you go there potentially?
Yeah. I would
Would you
love to
relive
go
it?
there.
Oh. Like, get me out of here. Get me out of this bullshit.
Do you know anything about the?
I know, and I almost bought a piece of land on it like a while ago. I should have done it.
You're ahead of the curve on a lot of stuff. I'm sorry I didn't finish that NFT conversation. I got distracted and I am a bit hungover today. I can't really form thoughts fully. It's bad. It's bad.
It's okay.
Thank God for that coffee. But do you have a take or a feeling about non-fungible tokens or digital art in general?
For sure, I see it as the future. I mean, whether we like it or not, it's the future because I'm already seeing billionaires and collectors of mine building huge LED NFT walls.
No way.
And staircases and features and galleries in their houses. My gallery is in their new Dubai location is making an NFT section in the gallery where you can literally go there and see your NFT on the wall on a screen, obviously, and buy it. Like in Art Basel this year, where I don't want to jump the gun with saying it, but we're going to do an event where I'm launching a new NFT and we're going to have huge screens and installations with them. But I think the next step is integrating the original art with the NFT art.
How do you see that happening?
So like say you have a sculpture, one of my sculptures has a screen installed into it that has that NFT art inside the sculpture. So you sell both of them as a package.
Oh, that's cool.
That's how I see value and likeness. But it's for sure the next step. Like I said, there was street art, cubism, digital art is the next form.
Yep.
And it's so funny because I'm gonna admit I was a hater of it. Like say 5-10 years ago, these digital artists that I would see making this art on iPads for fucking 3 weeks making one piece. I'm like, what a wasted time. Like you should be drawing, like, because a lot of my friends, they draw on their iPad, their sketches.
Yep.
I do all my sketches on paper and I keep all the sketches because they're worth, $10K for a little sketch. But now that I'm seeing the NFTs and the final project, like the final product becoming worth something, now I'm appreciating it more. So
So interesting. It's so interesting to see art, just everything evolve, but art especially. Because
so quickly too.
So quickly.
It was overnight. It was like in 2 weeks. These digital artists became superstars.
Nuts.
It's kind of the time frame we're living in now. Everything's happening so quickly. People, dude.
Oh my God.
People in what, a year became one of the highest grossing living artists on the planet. Are you fucking kidding me?
It feels like
That's
a time.
insane.
It feels like a timing thing too, because it's just that whole like space is so rife with like money.
Yeah.
Or sorry, with crypto, with coins, that they're like, I think a lot of them just look at them as like chips that they can't take out of the casino. So they're like, yo, I have 8,000 ETH that I bought in 2017 for $62. I think I'll drop 200 of them on a Beeple. You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't matter. It's like, to shift's direction and to his point, it's going to be interesting to see what happens as things continue to play out, and as the field kind of like levels out. Because right now it's, there's a lot of people with a lot of money in that space to just blow on whatever,
Yeah. No, I mean, one of my good friends that I met him maybe 8 months ago in Dubai. His name's Harry Ye. He's this guy from Canada, Asian guy, like genius. He can work like 10 computers at once. And he set me up with my first crypto account and gave me Phantom coin when it was 13 cents. He gave me like 35K in it. And now it's at like $3 or something like that. And it's almost $1 million.
Sick.
And he's a billionaire now. He's ordered like 4 yachts out. He bought 3 Bugattis and brought them to the conference that he brought me to. Like I've seen this guy become a billionaire in front of my eyes. But it's not like this guy's not gambling. This guy graduated Stanford at 16. He's a prodigy. He knows computer.
Yep.
So it goes to say like it's not just gambling. There's a science to it. Like say Beeple. It's not like he blew up over 2 weeks. This guy was probably eating shit for years just making digital art.
Decades.
Not decades making digital art when people are saying, what are you doing? You should be making canvas paintings. And now he's the king of the world and he's made more than all of us who are making canvas paintings for 50K years ago. So it's not like people think that they can just buy Shiba Inu and it's just like, it's going to blow up. Like there's a science to it. And like, if you work hard at it, these people don't come out of nowhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, Beeple's was what, first 5,000?
5,000 days in a row.
First 5,000 days.
I think more than that. I just know he definitely did 5,000 days in a row.
And what is that?
Creating a new piece of digital art.
How many years is that? Is that 15 years?
5,000 days in a row.
Oh wait, no, I
Jesus,
fucked up big time.
No,
I did horrible math. 36. Oh wait, is it? Or is it like 12, 13
It's
years?
something.
David's
I
gonna
can't
give it to us.
quite deal with numbers.
I feel like maybe I wasn't even that far off.
Is David paying
Because
attention?
wouldn't 10 years be
5,000 divided by 365.
13 years, yeah.
13 years. Every day. For that guy, people. He deserves all of it.
He's like the Banksy of
yes, he is.
He's the Banksy of digital art.
He definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And he
definitely
deserves
is.
everything he's got. That guy.
He just sold the other piece. The first, what's it called?
Human one.
Human one. For how much?
$29 million.
The square box
Yeah,
one?
the box.
Yeah.
Wow, and like you can tap into the Wi-Fi on it and change
Dude,
the
this
piece.
is insane. Yes, he can update the art. You can change the art, and it's still from the hand of people. And he can do it based on current events. Like there's the human in the box. So for those of you listening who don't know what the piece is, it's like a 6 foot, 7 foot tall giant spinning box.
4 sides, right?
Yep, 4 sides with a human walking through it that Beeple made, and it's walking through
Space. He's on the moon right now, or something.
nah, it can be nighttime, it can be daytime,
right.
and
He's changing it at all times.
exactly. He's like, yo, if there's like forest fires going on in the world, and I want to have the guy walking through fire at one point, like I could do that instantly and beam it to the buyer's house. Like,
I just want to know what he's doing with this, like 29 million, 150. Like me, I'd have a new yacht, a new private jet. Like,
what is he doing with that money?
What are you doing?
When you come up on that much money that quick, people, what are you doing?
I love watching
doing?
the scene of him when he finds out, like when he sees how much he made. Like it's like him with his.
No,
like,
you could see him.
He doesn't care about the money.
No. But you could see him eventually, like when that $70 million dollar piece sold. You could see him. It hits 20 million, and he's like, "Whoa!" And then 50 million. He's like, "What?" And then eventually he just stops. He gives up trying to comprehend.
The fucking cannot compute.
He's like, "Fuck it, I'm good for life."
How much is he worth now?
I mean, he's had a couple massive fucking sales.
I mean, bro,
at
those
least
2 pieces
100.
alone that we just talked about is $100 million.
And those are the ones we know about.
Yeah, for
Imagine the
sure.
shit we don't know about that's going on.
And he's still making everydays.
He goes to the dinner with you. He's like, "You want to split this?" You're like, "No."
I wish every guy would get money and be like the guy Harry Ye I was telling you about. Like literally, he became a billionaire. He ordered 3 yachts.
Yeah.
He brought 2 Bugattis into the conference. There was like this new Lamborghini Centurio. There was like 3 million. He's like, "I want it now," and like it literally just showed up. I'm like, this guy literally just bought this right now.
Wow.
Like
Now he's
now
he's in the back alley with.
and he's like,
Madeline
"Here's 100
counting
grand, Alec. I'm
pennies.
gonna give it to you in different grip." Like that guy knows how to do it right.
I love his name.
Carrier.
you got to meet him. He's a special guy. He's a very
You have
amazing
some
guy.
toys
Shout out
too.
to
You
him.
like to have some fun. You
Of
buy some
course,
stuff.
of course.
That was actually the coolest thing about you that I learned. Is you're a madman. You got that side too. You go fast on bikes. You shoot guns. You go off roading. You're like us, bro. You fish.
That's when we hit. I think that's when we hit it off immediately. Is when I was like, "Should we go on the quads and like
Yeah.
I'll take you to the trail?"
Yeah.
And then we're like passing by like burnt cars and dead bodies and like. It was good.
It's just burnt cars there.
Yeah,
everybody.
burnt cars.
It's only
We'll cut
burnt cars.
Why is it you can only get a laugh from David?
Because
Sorry about
you're
that,
a
I
dark.
forgot.
You're a dark
German.
German.
We cut that anyways. Right?
No, it all stays.
All of it stays.
So when you
Sorry about that.
We should just come back to him saying that.
he's listen, a lot's changed. All right,
That's so funny.
wait, yeah. So
A lot's changed.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not. Those trails are dangerous back there.
Yeah. The trails are dangerous.
Let's just move on.
The trails are dangerous. Let's move on.
So we're going out tonight. Oh, I wish Harry Ye was coming with us.
Dude, me too. And he spends in the club. and
Really?
His after parties are amazing. Very colorful.
You see any seen any dark sides to the partying lifestyle?
100%. I was a victim of the dark side of the party.
I was gonna ask you up front, but I didn't know what you felt
No,
comfortable
I was-
talking
Can you
about.
elaborate on that?
I was sober for like 2 years.
Yep.
I overdid it and it caught up with me. And
What happened? Because I think I'm headed there.
I think
No,
the
no, no,
problem
you've headed
was.
there.
I think the problem was, and it's a big problem in America, is these doctors that will overprescribe prescription drugs. I think this is a big problem. Like these guys are just ready to write you anything.
Yep.
And then you get hooked on say your back pain is killing you and you're taking these pills all day long. And then you're dependent on that. And for me, I don't want to be dependent on anyone or anything. So like that's when
Was it a pain medication?
yeah, it was
opiates.
yeah, Percocets.
Yeah.
So I was taking like 3 a day, and then like at one point I was traveling and I lost them, and like it was just like I lost my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like getting sick and I was like freaking out, and ended up flying home to get more. And I was like, dude, I just like flew home from the beautiful south of France Saint-Tropez to go get more painkillers because they don't have them in Europe. And I was like, this is the end of it. This is fucking it. And then, I checked into like a rehab facility, and it honestly changed my life. I was a different person before then. Like I had an ego. I wasn't grateful in life. You know, I didn't really.
You were a slave to it.
Exactly. So,
but what you're saying is it taught you everything.
It taught me so many lessons, and it taught me an even greater lesson is just like not to hold grudges with people. Like I forgive people immediately because like you being mad at someone is just like fucking with your head.
Yeah, it's worse for you than
it's worse for you because all day long you're like fuck that guy, and like he doesn't know you're thinking that.
Yeah.
Unforgiveness keeps them in control. That's like a big quote.
New stat today, as of today, like just before I read it, just before we came onto the podcast, 100,000 Americans died of drug overdoses this year, more than car accidents and gun violence combined. Just mind blowing. I know it's a dark stat, but not enough people are talking about it. It's not getting the attention it deserves, and it's all COVID and this and that, and every year it goes up by 20,000-30,000 Americans, and they're just forgotten and no one talks about it. It's just it's a sick, fucked up pharma money driven situation.
Yeah, exactly. Because in Europe there's no issues with this. You can't go get Percocets from. They're just like, dude, take a Tylenol.
Yeah,
take an extra strength Tylenol. Like, why do you need to get so high from?
Unless your limb is severed. I've gotten Demerol because my leg was off my body.
Yeah, but like you had a little backache.
Yeah, no, dude. Like, go take a Tylenol 800, you pussy.
I'm so glad you guys say that because growing up, I thought my mom was like losing her fucking mind. I had one wisdom tooth, only one. Don't say any jokes. I know where you guys are going with this. I only had one.
Where are we going, George?
And they only have one wisdom tooth.
I was not going to make a single joke about you being a dumbass. But now I did. Because you brought it up. It's the same reason I call you fatty, bro. I wouldn't have said a thing.
No. You call me a rhombus, bro.
No. He called you a rhombus. I said your head looks like the foundation of a building.
Cornerstone.
It does. You can't even get mad at that.
No,
they're
bro.
making valid points. But when I got my wisdom tooth taken out, they give you painkillers.
Yeah.
My mom wouldn't let me take it. She like cut it into like 10% and then gave it to me.
And took it all herself. She cut it into 10.
She
into 10.
She went, it was weird. She's like, how's your tooth, honey? But I was never allowed to take Advil growing up. I was never allowed to take I'm not kidding. They didn't want me to get used to this because a lot of kids,
that's a little fucking.
Can you imagine being addicted to Advil?
It's like, yo, you got any more than ibuprofen, dog?
No, they didn't. They didn't want me to rely on things. Because they saw how the school was just sending me to the nurse, and all these kids were just getting Advils or like just ibuprofens and shit like that at school. And she didn't like the fact.
Who's gonna tell them that? That's like
it's like getting a milk carton. So like, what do you
counter? Just go walk
I guess
in.
they didn't want it to grow to anything.
Well, I don't get how Advil could grow into anything. It's not a seed.
It's been a long trip for me, dude. Started off with Motrin.
Look where it ended, Mike.
Can you
had one headache and then you ended up in the alley.
Oh, the fucking hospital gave me Oxy 40, bro. OCs.
Can you imagine? All major addictions stemmed from over-the-counter Advil.
You don't know?
What did you do?
What if it's like, man, this headache went away. I wonder if I could get rid of this. More pills, Pop. See?
I actually won't take pills, the pain medications after surgery because I just know I have an addictive personality too.
I just said that.
No, we're not talking about ibuprofen, George.
But I'm
my grandmother takes that. She's 12 pounds.
When I was a kid, she didn't want me to rely on it because when I'm an adult now, I don't do that. I don't like for today. I'm not even gonna go back.
Dog, there's levels to it. Like when I got hit by a Toyota at full speed on a bicycle and shattered my skull, I needed something. Like there's a level of pain that becomes torture if you don't take a painkiller. And by the way, when that happened, I didn't take a painkiller because it was post getting clean. And so I actually still, even with blood squirting out of the back of my fucking head, I told them, no, I can't take it.
Are you monitoring your behavior at all these days?
Yeah, I mean, I had a root canal recently and it was amazing. They prescribed me.
Are you relapsing? Are you relapsing right now? What are you talking about? Why are you giggling like that?
No, I mean,
what are you talking about?
He's like, guys, we got a problem.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do. I think addiction is a disease and it runs in your family. And for sure, I got it from my dad because my dad drinks a lot and his dad had a problem. So I think it's a hereditary thing for sure.
No, it absolutely
Addictive
is.
personalities. But I realized this, people that it could go both ways, because a lot of successful people will say, yo, my father was like this, or my mom was like this, I didn't want to be like that, or my brother was like
For
this,
sure.
or I was like this and I got out of it. For example, Mike. I think it has to do with just focusing. I think our minds are made to focus on one thing and just go 100 in. So when you're like into drugs, you're like, oh shit, I'm 100% into this. So I think this is dangerous. If you're going to be successful and be focused, it could be double-edged sword.
You know, off that point, it is a really, really strong point. Do you feel like you, as you moved out of that addiction, you found yourself just addicted to your work?
For sure. I mean, I've always been addicted to my work. That's why I've been so successful, because I was graffitiing on every single street corner, street light, even on the ground and stuff like that. So I think that's what's attributed to my success. Like, if I wasn't an addictive person, I didn't have all these problems and all this fucked up stuff going on in my head, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I would just be a regular guy.
A lot of artists are like that. You know that. We had this a couple episodes ago.
That trauma man is you know, the trauma
man.
There he is.
He's like the boogeyman for
He's
trauma.
But I mean, there's nothing that I would want to hear more if I was a audience member that was like going through some shit right now, watching Impulsive. That is what built me. It's what built you. It's what it is building it. Like,
if you can make it out of that hole, what a growth process. Like, honestly, if you can make it out.
Gives you everything.
Well, it takes a lot of work and dedication to get you out of that hole. So when you're out and you're like, okay, I'm with everybody, you're like, I still have this hustle mentality. You have to focus that energy somewhere, and this is where you.
But it's also too. It's just everything that you learn about life being in that place. It just changes you. It
when you have
when you have nothing, your back's against the wall, and it teaches you empathy for other people that are in that position. It teaches you everything, and it's not just addiction. It's not just this or that. It could be any kind of struggle or trauma in life, and the struggles are your best teachers. There's no teacher like going through some shit that you don't know if you could beat. It's the best. It's the best professor in the fucking world.
You should clip that and post it on your Instagram.
That one clip from Impulsive is fucking gets posted 1 million times a day.
The way he closed his eyes and said that, though. So I want you to clip.
Why is that girl gold?
Can we get a pan or no?
No.
Fuck. It was. I asked.
Why did I point it out if we
You
weren't
know
gonna
what?
pan?
She's never going to depreciate. You guys should invest.
We got to show the
Yo,
girl.
Peter Schiff is gonna
gotta
come
show the
over
girl.
here and just rip
This
her
is
out.
what I'm talking about, baby.
Peter don't talk like that.
We gotta
What
show
is he,
the
a
girl.
fucking 1960s gang, Chicago gang member? This is what I'm talking about, baby.
I love Peter, dude. I love Peter Schiff. He's a guy. He's a guy.
I didn't know you guys got so close.
We didn't. He just came on the pod.
Okay.
But then we had, you sit down with someone for an hour and a half, you listen to him talk, and
2 hours.
He had really good
hours.
points.
Two
He had
hours.
really good points.
second longest podcast, damn near.
I mean, he's not where he's at for nothing. I mean, he's
Exactly.
a very successful guy.
Exactly. All right, so what's up?
What's up?
We going out tonight?
Yeah, I don't know.
We going out tonight?
I have a girlfriend, bro. So
Yeah, fair
I'm
enough.
gonna go
You ever
home.
pretend your dog's ears are the things that you use to save someone's life? Clear.
Defibrillators. Yeah.
I'm happy you didn't
I was
cut
thinking
his
Flint. He's like, stop pretending my ears are Flint, dude.
ears.
That's exactly what he said.
Hey, man. These aren't defibrillators, they're ears. All right, we're done, probably.
Yo, that was good. That's fun.
Alec, thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thanks for coming on Impulsive. I mean, it's the #1 podcast in the world. I can't make this shit up. If they want to follow you on Instagram, where can they do that?
Alec Monopoly.
He's great. If you guys see him in person and he comes to your city to do a show, make sure to be there. I make it a point to go to every one of your shows, front row with a sign that says "I Heart Alec." Guys, hit
You
that
actually
subscribe
start
button.
DJing too.
Sometimes.
Remember, you were like, "Which button?" I'm like, "Okay, that
Turn
one."
a knob. Turn one knob. I'm very grateful for your friendship. We're done. We're done with the podcast. Bye.
Nice. Very grateful for your friendship. We're done with the podcast.
I love that
Bye.
ending.
Well, this is the ending too.
You got smoked.